this is going to look a little bit confusing because I am future Rosie. Basically, my intro has completely and utterly gone. And my review of Gate of Bones by Andy Clark, has just disappeared. So I'm technically here to replace that clip. Anyways, hello my rose petals, welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel, A Rose Between Pages. Rosie here, welcome to Recent Reads #2. In this video I will be talking about 6 books that I have recently read. So let's start with Gate of Bones. Now, this is the second novel in the Dawn of Fire novel series, and this is a Warhammer 40k series. This is my first Warhammer 40k series, and I really enjoyed this a lot more than the first book. This was action-packed, full of gory battles, and it was just so much better than the last one. This got me in my feels, like, not joking, I cried. I sobbed at this book and I didn't think I would. So, if that doesn't say anything, I don't know what does, but one of my favourite characters unfortunately died in this. And a character that I thought was dead, Kate, actually survived. And I'm looking forward to getting to the third one of this at some point in the future. Okay, around the present for me. So, this was a 4 stars, 4.5 stars. And I would recommend the series to people who are into grim dark fantasy, gory battles, sci-fi. But you have to go through the first book, which is basically setting you up for the rest of the series. Now, I'm gonna let you go back to past Rosie. Okay, hi. So, this is book number 2 in this recent reads video. I read In My Dreams I Hold a Knife on My Kindle by Ashley Winstead. Trigger warnings for sexual assault implications, so this book does imply that happens. And trigger warnings for overdose and suicide as well. So, if that triggers you, be careful going into this book. So, it was very, at the beginning, it was very gripping. It was beautiful and poetic, was the writing. The main 7 characters were very lovable. I actually didn't realise going into this that this is a dark academia as well as a thriller. This book is also a little bit spicy. Just a little bit spicy. It had a couple spicy scenes. And I was interested as to how the rest of the story would go and how it would build up to the murder. So, I vlogged my entire experience. By the time this comes out, you will have seen the vlogs that I vlogged my experience of this book in. And I was constantly doing updates at the beginning of this book. I just wanted to keep updating after every clip that I did, because every time I'd read something big would happen. But at the end, this ended up getting really annoying with how long this book was, how long it felt. It was very long-winded, was this book, and at one point I just wanted to know who the killer was and have this book done with. So that's why it gets 3.5 stars. It was drawn out a lot longer than it should have been, but it did keep me very hooked. So that's a thing. Okay, I'll see you when I next finish a book. Hi, so I've just finished journaling and I've just finished Bad Magic by Derek Landy. This was really enjoyable as this I haven't read a graphic novel for a little bit, so it was different to what I usually read. But I don't regret it at all. I don't regret reading this one. This one was like really enjoyable. The characters were very lovable. I love the art style. This is a skullduggery pleasant book, but you can read it as a standalone, which is what I did. I read it as a standalone. And I love the fact that there was a magical skeleton and his friend was a psychic with magical powers, which was really fun to read about. Hello, so Josh is gaming in the background and I thought I'd wear my Rather Be Reading shirt, suitable for the recent reads. I just finished a library recommendation. So one of the librarians, called Pam, recommended Susan Lewis to me. She recommended this author and I thought I'd give her a try. This is Who's Lying Now. Basically, you are following lots of different perspectives in this, and you're following the case of a missing person called Jenny. Now, the way this is written, it keeps you on your feet, it keeps you interested, it keeps you gripped. I struggled to put this down. Like, I was getting close to being in a slump before I started this, because all the books that I have in front of me and over there, I just wasn't in the mood for any of my books, so felt like I was gonna go into a slump. But this has put me more into the reading mood now, and I'm really, really happy about that. This was a 4 stars. It was 4 stars because there's trigger warning, like, beware going into this, there is sexual assault, and there's also child grooming mentioned in this. Like, both are mentioned with a certain character. That means quite a bit to another character. I cannot say too much because it will spoil it. I loved how the interrogations were written. You are going through dual timelines, so past and present. So the past was before Jenny went missing, present was the interrogations and basically what the police were doing to try and find Jenny. So I really enjoyed the characters, I really enjoyed how this was written. I did guess who the murderer and the accomplice was, but it was satisfying to find out. Like, a lot of the time it did keep me guessing and it kept making me think, actually it could be this person instead, which I love about mysteries. So I do recommend, if you're looking for like a gripping crime. I'll come back to this video once I've read my next book. Hi, so it's about a week later now. I have just, like, last night, 10 minutes before midnight, because my goal was to try and finish this book before midnight last night, and I did, on sprints, which was brilliant. And that is Sweet Tomorrows by Debbie Macomber. This was a 4-star for me. Yes, you heard right, 4-star for me, of a romance. Basically, in this, you are following 2 female main characters, Emily and Jo Marie, and then you're also following the 2 male characters, Nick and Mark. and basically you go through like their relationship problems and stuff like that, and there is the tropes of grumpy sunshine and love triangles. There's also a bit of flirty banter between Mark and Jo Marie, which is quite cute. The way that the guys think of the women in this and the way that they speak to them in this is actually really, really cute. I found this really wholesome, really adorable. Yes, it is part of a series. It's the end book of a series. But you can read this as a standalone, which is what I did. I really enjoyed this book. And I would recommend it to anybody who's new to romance. But yeah, this was a very fun summery book, and I'm happy that I read it in summer. And some of it I read outside, which I was happy about. And the ending was chef's kiss. I didn't know how it was going to end, because like it's very up and down with Emily and Nick and Jo Marie and Mark, so their relationships are all over the place. But it ended really good. I really enjoyed that ending. Warning, there is infertility issues in this as well. There's like Jo Marie ends up in a love triangle with Mark and this other guy called Greg, but she loves them both and they love her back. So that's a thing that happens. And can't really say anything else without spoiling it. But basically the Rose Harbour Inn has magical healing properties in a sense. So whoever goes to that inn ends up healing in some way, which was really nice to read. It was very healing, very spiritual, and a very warm and fuzzy book to read. I'm gonna go read my other library book. Hi, so I just wanted to come on this and finish this video here by talking about High Stakes by Danielle Steele. I really wanted to like this. I liked the main 5 women. I liked the women. But there was a specific guy, and he was a big part of this. Like, he was practically one of the main bosses. He was like a big boss who thought he could get away with shit. Basically, he, at any opportunity, sexually assaulted women and sexually harassed them as well. And I got to page 125, so I did give this quite a bit of a chance. And I was in denial of I was not liking this. I was not liking this character. And basically he was making me feel very uncomfortable and very anxious, like to the point where it felt like I was about to have an anxiety attack due to reading about this character. So I have DNF'd because I don't want to do that to my own mental health. Like, I don't want to put myself through that. So I tried it. It was a 1 star. I barely give 1 stars. Even if I've DNF'd a book, I barely give 1 stars. But this, nah. I'm sorry, but that guy, like, he was groping women without their permission. He was fondling their breasts without their permission. He even fucking fingered a woman without her permission. I felt very uncomfortable and very anxious about reading about this character. Like, the more I read about him, the more anxious and uncomfortable I got. Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of this video. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Comment below if you've read any of these books. And give me like a sprinting emoji, because I want to try and speed through my next book, because I have until the 5th of August to read it. So I have about a week to read it now. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay luscious, guys. Bye.